I see many familiar faces in this crowd today, but I realize I may be an unfamiliar one to many of you. So just so you know, my name is Katie, and I have the honor of presiding over today's ceremony as officiant. I'm sure some of you may ask what has qualified me for this role, and at first I wasn't quite sure either, but after realizing that I've had the pleasure of being one of Nikki's best friends for the past 7 years, I understood why. In these past 7 years, we shared so many experiences and lessons. In those years, some of which we lived together, 4 of which we spent in college where we spoke about the time when this day would come, I paid attention to all of it. Nikki and I truly know each other. The good, the bad, the ugly. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another able to vet Scott as well as I quietly have since Nikki and him met. And believe me, I've been vetting him. Because of this, I can stand here today and say without a shadow of a doubt that after living and sharing life with Nikki so closely for so many years, she has found the man meant to do it for the rest of their lives. I thank you both for this incredible honor, and I ask all of you to bear with me because I'm just as emotional as I'm sure most of you are. We have an incredible community here with us today. Scott, Nikki, this is no surprise. You both mean so much to so many people. This village that we've organized here speaks volumes to how sincerely you each conduct yourselves in your relationships.
Very sincere.
So sincerely and so loudly that we conduct ourselves in these relationships. So many have taken the time to be here today, simply to bask in the joy we are about to exemplify during your marriage ceremony. You've meant so much to all of us at different moments in time, but today, the time is yours. We are so grateful and so blessed to join you, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Your friends, family, and loved ones traveled from near and far to be here on this beautiful day, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say we are excited. We would also like to take a moment, however, to remember those that may not be physically with us anymore, but are most definitely felt here today and witnessed as well. In particular, Nikki's grandmothers, Mary and Jesse, as well as Scott's father, Scott Sr., and grandfather, John. May your happiness bring them peace, and their love bring peace to both of you. So let's just take this moment and remember those who are here and also not here with us, because today we're witnessing your love, no matter where we are. Friends and family, this venue is gorgeous, and this celebration is sure to be tremendous. However, before we commence this ceremony of happiness for Scott and Nikki, before they make their truest promises to each other, it is imperative for them both to understand the true reason we are here today. We are all gathered here today to celebrate your incredible love, your genuine friendship, and simply to observe your faith in each other. Everyone present today shares this faith. So nerves aside, you both stand here beautiful and handsome as ever, knowing that this feeling today is one that will last long past today. Both of you and all of us are certain of the fact that no matter how much planning and preparation went into this physical celebration of your commitment, at the end of this day, you are standing next to your best friend. On this day, regardless of any other you may have encountered in the past and will surely encounter in your future together, there is no fear in either of your hearts. In fact, each of you know with every beat of your heart that you have found your partner and your equal. Share this moment with each other. Take a breath, look at one another. You're about to start your journey, and in a short while, I will present you back into your community as husband and wife for the first time. So take this moment. Enjoy each other. You guys ready?
Yep.
You ready? All right. Scott and Nikki have chosen to write their own vows, but before we listen to them share these vows with each other and us, I'd like to share some words with the bride and groom. You've known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, you've been making promises and agreements in an informal way. All those conversations that were held riding in a car, or over a meal, or during long walks, all those sentences that began with, when we're married, and continued with, I will, and you will, and we will. Those late night talks that included someday and somehow and maybe. And all those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the true process of a wedding. Without even realizing it, you've done this many times over. You have looked at yourselves and at each other and at your lives and decided that you choose happiness. You choose each other. The symbolic vows that you're about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things that we promised and hoped and dreamed. Well, I meant it all, every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you've been many things to one another. Acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, and even teacher. You guys have learned so much from each other in these last few years, and you'll continue to learn from each other for the rest of your lives. All those conversations, all of those dances, and all of those moments brought you here. And now, you shall say a few words that take you across the threshold of life. And things will never quite be the same between you. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, and this is my wife. After this threshold, you guys will be husband and wife. We're going to start with Scott's vows.
Nikki, there are no words that can describe how much I love you. Since the first time I met you, I knew you were the one. Every single day we're together makes me want to be a better version of myself. I've grown so much as a person, and we've grown so much together since our first date. Thank you for your unconditional love. Your ability to put people first will be key in building our family and will be critical value and will instill in our children and eventually our grandchildren. I'm excited for the adventure that life has in store for us. Today is another important stepping stone in our relationship. It is for us to grow together. We've done so much in such a short period of time, and I cannot wait to see what the next chapter has in life for us. I love you, Nikki.
Well, I don't know if you guys know how we met. We met at the gym. And I bet you when I told him that if he drove to the Spartan race, I would love him forever, neither of us thought we'd be here 2 years later. So, Scott, I didn't know I had the capability of being this happy. I didn't think it was something that was possible for me, mostly because there was just part of me I couldn't love, and I just felt no one else could either. But no matter who I was or the struggles I've been through, you've always made sure that you loved every part of me and you were there for me. And frankly, I'm just a totally different person being with you for the better. I'm exactly where I needed to be. You truly helped me find my direction. There's been times when we've been together where I was very lost, and you were patient with me and you were understanding, and I couldn't imagine a better life than what we have now together. And like you said, in this short amount of time, we've done so much and built such an incredible life together, and I look forward so much to what we have coming, because if this is how good it is now, it could only get better. Thank you for supporting me when I'm weak. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for giving me extra rounds of kisses when the first one didn't feel right, and I needed all three, because it has to be in rounds of 3. Thank you for putting little love notes on my coffee when you leave them in the fridge, because you know even in the dead of winter that I like my coffee iced. Always. Mostly, thank you for loving me, quirks and all. I'm so lucky that I get to spend my forever with you, and I promise to be patient I promise to be understanding, to try not to laugh too hard when you misunderstand my neurological rants, and try to pretend my best that I know anything about computers when you're telling me about your job. I promise to share the blankets and only hit you gently when you won't stop snoring. And I promise to spend each and every day making you as happy as you make me for the rest of my life.
Nikki and Scott, you've expressed your love to one another through the commitment and promises you've just made. It is with these in mind that I pronounce you husband and wife. You've kissed 1,000 times, maybe more, probably more. But today, the feeling is new. No longer simply partners and best friends. You've become husband and wife. You've kissed 1,000 times, like I said, probably more. But today, your kiss is a promise. You may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold up.
Rewind. Rewind.
This is important.
All right.
This makes the memories.
Woo!
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Guys, it wasn't over.
That's practice.
Yeah.
You got us all choked up with those vows.
Yeah, for real. Scott, when you place this ring on Nikki's finger, it's symbolizing eternity in each other's lives. You may now do that. Nikki, when you place this ring on Scott's finger, you are giving him the confidence to be your husband for the rest of his life.
Oh, God.
Yay! Now, we were eager to kiss. Understandably so. You're both as beautiful and handsome as ever. So you kissed 1,001 times. Maybe more. But today the feeling is new.
Or maybe the same.
Almost new. No longer simply partners, because you've already kissed. And best friends. You've become husband and wife twice.
One day.
Today, your second kiss is also a promise. You may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you, for the first time to their community, Mr. and Mrs. Scott and Nikki Halford.